What's good YouTube, it's Adam from I'm a Music Mogul and welcome to another video. Today's video will be remaking Playboi Carti's Meh track, so let's get straight to it. First things first, let's go ahead and change our tempo to 151 beats per minute. And for this one, we're gonna actually start off with the drums, just because we're gonna work with that crazy art pattern and I need something to work off of to get that pattern down. So let's bring in Logic's EXS24 sampler instrument, and I will be bringing in the Meh drum kit. Now, these sounds here are in the Essentials kit, my Essentials drum kit. I'll place a link in the description box below this video if you do want to check it out for more Essential drum kit sounds. So let's go ahead and start off with something simple here. It will be it's going to be an 8-bar pattern ultimately. So let's just do that. And let's just start off with the hi-hat. And over to my brush tool, change over to 8th notes. All right, let's go ahead and repeat that. And that's pretty much the hi-hat pattern right there. Next, let's go and duplicate this. Oh, I didn't duplicate it over the 8 bars. Let's just do that. And now let's go ahead and draw in our clap. So we have a foundation to work off of. And just go draw that in. I believe I put it on the C#3. Just duplicate that. All right, next is going to create a new software instrument track, and let's get to working on that main ARP sound that we hear in the record. Let's bring up Logic's ES2 synthesizer. And we're just going to work with the default settings that loads up right here for now, but we'll come back and adjust the sound in a moment. Let's go ahead and just draw in the pattern. Actually, maybe before we do that, I'm just going to change over the oscillators. So I'm going to put them all to a triangle oscillator. And let's start off with that. Go over to our pencil tool and let's get to that pattern. All right, so it is an 8-bar pattern. I'm just going to stop right there and let's just design up the sound a bit here. Pop up Logic's ES2 synthesizer. And the first thing we're going to do is going to go ahead and turn on unison. I think the second oscillator, I'm going to change this to a sawtooth. I'm going to turn off the third oscillator. I'm going to go like a sort of like a 60-40 split here. On this oscillator, I'm going to detune it by 7 semitones. And we get that detuned synth sound. Let's go ahead and pull back the cutoff a bit here. I'm going to pull up the sine level a bit. All right, next let's move down to our ADSR right here. I'm gonna pull it down to sustain, so it's like a quick pluck. I'm gonna pull up the release a little bit here. Maybe I'll bring the decay, the attack a little bit down to get a little bit pluckier. Maybe I'll pull up the decay a little bit. All right, so there's the foundation to our sound right there. Next, let's go and close it up, and maybe it'll be a little bit easier to make the pattern for the next 4 bars. But I'm just gonna go ahead and duplicate the first 4 bars. Duplicate that over and just mess around with the notes here. We'll see what we can put together. I'm gonna shorten this note over here. Pitch that 1 octave up. All right, so there is the pattern right there. Next, let's go back to the sound and do some more sound design work. First thing that we're gonna do is bring in a sample delay to make this nice and wide. We're gonna go to Logic's delay, sample delay. And we're just gonna delay 1 channel here. Just a little bit. Not too crazy. Next, let's go ahead and bring in a modulation plugin. We'll bring in Logic's Flanger. And just want to get that robotic feel. We use that one. I'm just going to pull down the mix a bit. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring in some reverb. Let's bring in Logic Space Designer. All right, next let's go ahead and bring in an EQ. And I'm just gonna cut out some of the low end here. Just clean that low end up a bit. And last but not least, let's go ahead and bring in another modulation plugin. We'll bring in Logic's Tremolo. And we're just gonna go ahead and just soften up the sound here. Just add some dimension to it. All right, so there's sort of the foundation to the main melody. Next, let's go and create a new software instrument track. I'm gonna unsolo this here. We're gonna go over to our browser tool. We're gonna go to synthesizer, percussion, abstract mallets, and it's gonna be like this pluck bell type of sound. Let's go ahead and draw our pattern in here. Let's go over to the top of the pattern. So I'm going to duplicate this pattern over, and let's see how our second pattern works out. I'm just going to do this right over here. I think just the ending changes up here a bit. All right, so there's our pattern right over there. This is our sound. All right, next let's go ahead and duplicate this sound. I'm going to go over to our browser window once again. And we're going to bring in another preset here. And I'm going to bring in the vintage synth marimba. We're going to layer up this sound. Let's go ahead and just maybe push this up one. I'm going to take out some of the low end on this sound here. There's not much low end here to really begin with, but maybe I'll just boost a little bit of the mids here. Make that a little bit brighter. Layer it up with this one here. I'm going to just group, track stack this two instruments right over here. And we're just going to mold them as one instrument. So I'm going to go ahead and just EQ once again here. I'm going to take out the lows. I mean, there's not much lows here. Just a little bit here. And I'm going to cut out some of the top end here. Make a little bit darker of a sounding bell. I'm going to boost a little bit. Just cleans that up a bit. A little bit brighter. Bring in some reverb as well. All right, next let's go and create a new software instrument track, and let's get to that flute sort of dreamy type of sound. We're gonna open up our browser window over here. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and close this up, and I'm going to bring in Logic's Alchemy. I'm just going to bring in a woodwind from here. Let's see. I think the preset I want to use is called, I think it was Liquid Breath Flute. Let's go ahead and draw in a pattern. And we'll draw that up here. So right here, that pattern comes in. And I think it happens right here again, another one. Alright, I don't think that's the preset I want to use. Let me go back to Alchemy here. And I'm going to go ahead and bring in, which one was it here? Ah, that's the one I want to use. Alright, then all we're going to do here is just push this over. We'll do something like that, and let's see how that sounds on the second part as well. All right, maybe we can add in a little bit more reverb here. And I'm just gonna take out some EQ here. Let's go before the reverb. And I'm gonna take out some, I gotta push this EQ before. There we go. And we're just gonna cut out a lot of the low end here. Gonna clean up this sound a bit. Just cleans it up a bit for our bass once we bring that in. And then let's go ahead and bring in a chorus plugin over here. And let's go bring in a preset. I think that's good. Bring this down a bit. All right, next let's go ahead and duplicate this drum pattern. Let's start building out the drums. And then I think we have one more sound to put in, but let's just work on some more drums. Let's bring in the snare pattern. Let's go ahead and draw on that. All right, next duplicate that sound and let's bring in a per kit here. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and lower up this pattern a bit. Next, let's go and duplicate this track and let's draw in the open hat. Let's bring that nice and loud and let's go ahead and see where that open hat is. I'm gonna bring a little reverb on this here as well. All right, let's bring in a new, actually not a new one. Let's duplicate this track and let's draw in our 808 pattern. I'm just gonna go over, take off this reverb. I wanna make sure our mono is set over here so that our 808s don't overlap. And let's go ahead and draw in that pattern. And that just duplicates itself. And on this one, I'm just gonna go bring in some distortion, bring in Logic's Bit Crusher. And I'm just gonna use the default settings that load up here. Just gonna bring up the resolution. Just gives a little bit more earthiness. All right, next let's make that lead sound that we hear. It's sort of like a carved out lead, classic lead sound. So I'm gonna bring in Logic's Retro Synth and we'll bring in the preset that I think sounds familiar is the dance basic lead, or at least that's what it sounds like to me. And for the melody, we're just gonna go ahead and copy down the same pattern from over here. It's gonna sound something like this. I'm just gonna go and stretch these out. do something like that. I'm going to pitch it down. There, so all right, so let's go ahead and just shape up this sound. We'll bring in Logic's EQ, and we're really going to just carve it out so it sounds very mid-rangey. It's going to go ahead and take out a lot of the low end. And let's carve out some of the top end. Next, I'm going to bring in Logic's distortion overdrive just to make this sound a little bit thicker. And I'm going to bring in a modulation effect here, chorus, just to soften this sound up a little bit. All right, so there is all of the sounds right there. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and arrange this for you guys, and we'll come right back. All right, so here is the arrangement right over here. I took a listen to the original track and tried to match the arrangement as best I could. So here, I think we took it halfway through the song. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Listen to it we just put together. Playboi Carti's Meh. Let's go. So there is the remake right over there, Playboi Carti's Meh. For you Logic users out there, I'm going to go ahead and save this entire session for you guys, place it as a downloadable link in the description box below this video. For you non-Logic users out there, got your back as well. I'm going to go and export all the MIDI stems, audio stems, and of course include the drum kit that you heard in this remake as well. If you do have any questions on this, we can go ahead and chat and carry the conversation down below. We can hang out over there. So that's it for me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did like this video, remember thumbs up and share it, and of course hit that subscribe button for more good videos like this one. I'll talk to y'all soon. Later. Peace.